Right, ebusan mo bibia kwa ba mfam bra 2K ni sem blogs o YouTube so say ebusan for yaba as usual. En sem ahodo a ekoso e Ghana say no. Na e de beso me ahefo ene atifo nyina. Na ebusan me no kase no. We any info aba betodwa. Ebusan ya me pese me de beso me ahefo ene matifo nyina. Na ebusan me no kase no. En sem aba betodwa na ebusan ano odene. After say yeso eye John Dramani Mahama in wie no ensem bebre na ekoso. Na ni nyina nsem pese be kwoni akwakoje sa ensem mu nyina nchiri mu pay di abayeba ba betena se ne di ensen ho nkomo se di esitie
enye bad cry ja wo man yetumi sum ni ne capacity nti ko shewa yo Ben we de wa ya nimdifo wo janwode energy mu yi de ye misa o candidate stand ECG ya de sha nkrankransem yede ma aban emu de wan na obe opti for
maybe that's it je meka jira di se ejina ankran yede hye nsem se pese di sha ankran sama na ejina aban so kra obehwe ECG se pese di ma aban I think sa ni man yiri na wo se hwe enya di se yede ma aban na di ma na aban sa kwa na enyen so say the man kran tie the man kran bia sakwa I think nyama mi ne was say if any say aban ewo the capacity or the ability and as kran so ewo the capacity and as ability kran capacity no ne sika owo so between I inject ama isi japan into my frafra and as in India or deba the abesani man over say aban so abai e usa skano na so woni ndie no kisani ma we ne wo sefe asana ya kan say di ma abai ana say di ma kran
very well ECG over the years ye na ye nim say ya abai na e woni nsemu a ohyeso hu om dwumadi say
okay me da say ofa ECG dwumadi dia in recent times no dwumadi enkon kan na me kan dwumadi na me de bianema mienu ana miensa bi na behwene ejumadi me total equities over time for the past 5 years and the total equities declining because from 8 billion in 2019 to 5 billion in 2023 and we are currently 2024 data bar and there was to 4 billion it is yeah I'm sure in the next 3 years no the liabilities override the assets until I fall into negative equity. And there are no BCZ BBO or Yentimia the country of BCZ infrastructure beyond what BCZ Japan BBO 10% of the 3 years because the moment of this that ECZ will be there now. My power sector also no ammonia here but it becomes very unstable. No. Now the second part is more profitability and as a financial performance. And also no nyadia yeka wasembia be because in the last 5 years and also no apart from 2020 being an outlier of about 400 million Ghana cedis no ECG kan kwa no obo and the last 2 years kwa kan also krano they take krano edoson almost 16 billion so the key report from Auditor General and a reporter of public operations for 2023 almost 16 billion, but we take it state ownership of state somewhere around 14 billion. You know, in 2 years in Guano, we see Waboka 16 billion, we see Waboka 14 billion, and the company Boka hard because Ankabia liabilities increase. You know, the company may make it between the liabilities for frequently. I redeem the liabilities Naja was still on course, but also no financially, you know. A car no profitability no and papa losses and now observe for the last 5 years. Now we have also nearby operational performance is no ECG the system losses high because PURC benchmark or the ECG 22%, but net system losses being equal to around 37%, but after 2020 data equity 26.9, which is even above the benchmark PURC asset Yamamo. What they call Uganda, some of their discos are doing 17%. What they call Kenya, some of their discos are doing 23%. So why should always be doing more than the benchmark? I call 26, to 37%. So it means that these are all sika and can say by bottom money in actually copper. And operationally, ECG is also inefficient. Now, these three reasons, in Tina Biobedri say, there was a should I buy come in? And I say, from my property. The first point is I was buying Bamwa, I buy Wiscano. In 2019, World Bank it was buying for sale also or design what we call the Energy Sector Recovery Program. Now, that program, Emma, buying allocate energy sector shortfalls in the budget so that all the Beboa energy sector. But I buy allocate on Timintia because the government is also financially constrained and as a liquidity constraint. I buy one also on Timintia, and this was evidenced by the cash waterfall mechanism since August 2023. By starting cash waterfall mechanism, Minister of Finance, the contribution to the mechanism is zero. On Timintia, Peswa Crown Call because I buy what you know. This is Okase Kai ECG bono, and I say the total equity and diminution, and I say decrease. The financial losses increase. The operational losses increases. Government should come in. Government always have to inject this huge amounts into it. Government so no or a cash trap. On one more $3 billion PPA or gas supply contract also Pocotia. And that is about 45 billion. Or no next can into operational wise and so on Sunday between the ECG. I think it will not do. The other part is that we will be buying any some good structure, say we obey appointee, will be a owning day, will be a team a company. But yes, the way our political culture is, the political culture is so porous that will be quite an hour. We see any obey a money, but the question, now one general Jumaye now and also politics in the end because the Panabiana funding or contributing to the party. So government interference will continue at this particular area, won't me, and so on. Now, lastly, we'll consider privatization, and I think that is where the conversation is now because government will say, oh no, this government will say ECG more attending over. On to me, any political interference. So let's look at privatization. I think that the kind of privatization I say Komono and was I've seen a lot of proposals didn't say concession and I have concession that because PDS was a concession, but PDS also it lacked transparency, it lacked inclusivity, and it also lacked honesty in the part of some of the partners, their ability or their capacity to inject some liquidity into the base of ECG and also being improved the capital base of ECG. The consortium formed by an Angolan company and Ghanaian companies, one of the precondition terms is also bank guarantee. Bank guarantee and insurance guarantee. The government did a risk assessment of that particular insurance guarantee from a Qatar-based company. The insurance company no beat me in case of any eventuality. The insurance company no any capacity. It means that someone lied to us. It means that someone did not tell us the truth about that particular consortium, and that is why PDS we don't have to repeat the PDS deal. We must make sure that Ghana media is carried along this particular privatization because of the privatization, no question of the privatization, not the Ghana food energy terms of the privatization. Even at our center is even proposing that we need to run what we call a social impact assessment survey. And as I was saying, survey we get to the Ghana food and as a Ghana for Ghana for privatization, then I was a Ghana for Yepe. And because even a company, so if you are going to take a critical decision about privatization, Ghanaians must be carried along. And that is why I think that the committee, the ministry, must carry all of us along in this particular privatization. So even if you say NTS, company do go, and as any total equities, no, and and run into negative equities, and they at all, I run into negative equities now. Okay, let it be there like that. But it also has its own consequences in future. So if you do say privatize, what kind of privatization? Is it going to be outright asset sales? I don't think so. Is it going to be a divestiture of the company? I don't think so. Maybe a concession. A concession, how many years in the year? And a concession, then also have DNA also the bomb. Sikasen also the bomb. The Padudosen also the bomb. All these must also be analyzed by the Ghanaian and appreciated so that You know, to say in every corner, young corner, and more company now. But a bank or centralized decision on Akufana Green saying EC PDS easy to cover that again then time now. I can privatization and so on from Pasuvia.
You're right, but was in a queen Mukakra won't come away more. Not just yet. You have someone who can hear who be here say. The best option now and the best alternative now is in the bay. Said ya ma buying all these years na improvement bia said then a carbon ya dia then a bay say can farmer and crankra but no cra no I was say yeah a bit cautious kakra ansa na meba ekua asoriatia sana muntu yi no enimdifo bi nso so ojanhode nsemu etufo say yes so kote se jada onyonkwa bojusi manu asensu esudi countries like Nigeria, Uganda wom so for privatization kwan ya so meko wi ase no womunu wom ho as compared to North African countries wom no aban no eneye but there is a strong government involvement and some means to see Yes,
it is true that privatization in power sector privatization in Africa, do not I think 30% of them collapse, including that of Ghana, PDS. But context matter because one context now, Nigeria, no a problem. One thing is that most of the private persons normally these companies, among inject any liquidity into it, take advantage of the existing assets, and then also continue to call for increase in tariffs. But one, we need a good regulatory enforcement because regulatory enforcement ensures a company and take advantage of Ghanaians, and we must also be strict on the injection of capital. Each year, I was say a company because in other jurisdictions within the same Africa, BIA privatization, in South Africa, for example, and other countries like Kenya, private person involvement, more unstable power. So we should not always look at the bad models. I think in Nigeria, for Nokrano, almost Nigeria has about 10 or 11 distribution companies based on regional based or state-based distribution companies. In this area, let's say you privatize, you cannot say privatize the whole of ECG. Every time privatize on regional levels, on zonal levels, Ashanti zone in different company should have it. The southern zone or the Greater Accra area, including central region and the western region, a different company could have it. Maybe the eastern zone, maybe OT region, Bota region, a different company will have it, and still NEDCO maintains the other company. Maybe nobody to engender some kind of competition, even though they are not within the same market, but it might engender some competition among them. A bit Myanmar or be but with our experience, NEDCO is from a different zone. ECG is from a different zone, but NEDCO also made a net loss of 748 million Ghana cedis. So, and to me, I'm promoting that competition. So, the other argument is that after you privatize ECG, you deregulate the sector, you liberalize the sector, and allow other participants into it. As to whether say what technology, and innovation, I